Yeah, I mean, Happy New Year to everyone. I haven't seen everyone. I'm very excited to kick things off again. We left at a pretty good like stopping point, which is nice for the year in terms of like what your next task set of tasks are, and you can kind of see on in the chat there from almost 28 days ago, a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in terms of what you want to do, um, and these are the first three. I don't know if this is the order you wanted to rank them in, or these are the first things that came up. But right now, where you guys currently lie, you guys did this whole like seance. You learned a little bit about some of the mysteries of Ten Towns from the White Lady herself. Um, and you kind of go back downstairs into the White Lady Inn. You kind of still enjoy through the night, and you overhear a little bit of conversation about the former necromancer that was executed, I believe that day actually. And so that there was a location that he was after that you read about, and that somebody actually knew some information. Because remember, when you visited the house that he was at, it was ransacked. Um, Prior to your arrival, and so not everything that could have been there was there. And so some of the maybe the townsfolk of East Haven had that information. So you had a little hear a little bit about that. Um, okay. Um, and I think that's kind of where we settled. You hear a little bit of conversation about this white moose. And does anyone remember the town where this moose was?
No,
It's okay if you don't.
I haven't gone back and watched the YouTube video.
Okay, it is in Lonelywood, the town of Lonely Wood. Apparently, there's a white moose going rampant, but it seems like that's something that you weren't quite as interested in, based on like kind of like going back to kind of like reviewing things. So, uh, especially there wasn't like a bounty; it was just something like, "Hey, did you hear about this white moose kind of wreaking havoc?" So. And then the last kind of like the main thing is like Cephid culture. So it's kind of like been a little bit on the back burner, but there have been a series of murders going around 10 towns where the Cephid culture has been traveling with a caravan operated by a Torg. So Torg's caravan. Um, and a bounty hunter um, in, sorry, what's it called? Brinchander is interested in terms of like apprehending this individual, and you bringing it to them, or to her rather, and but you haven't had picked up like a lead or anything on that as of late right now. So you kind of discuss like maybe we should pick that up again, or one of those. It's kind of hard, right? Because like you're kind of like there is some sort of like reward for this, but you're not exactly sure to what degree. Um, so yeah, these are just kind of things to think about. So I guess we'll kind of like pick it up to kind of like you guys are chatting away and settling on what you would like to do next. So I'll open up the floor for discussion in terms of what do you guys want to do.
Well, so Jimothy and I were in the bar together and we heard that Travis guy who might know the location of the city. What was it? City of the Dead or something?
Yeah, again. Yeah.
Yeah, did you recall the name?
Yeah, that
Yithrin.
the Yethrin. Yeah, the
Yeah.
corpse city.
Mm-hmm. Correct. So you know that this wizard or necromancer was after interested in the location of that particular city. So, and you guys were gonna initially just tail him and kind of like ask him questions, be like, "Hey, what the hell do you know?" I think that was like the first kind of like main thing you wanted to check out, but
Yeah.
you wanted to do that right now.
All I know is he's an cobbler or a tanner or something. He has a buzz cut, sunburnt skin, olive skin.
Okay.
That's what my notes say.
Perfect. Which is funny because like it's really cold up here, so I don't know how he's getting a sunburn, but it's happening.
Hey, you can get sunburned from the snow. Yeah.
It's true. It's true. It's true. But it's interesting because like his profession seems like he's inside a lot of the time, so
he likes to go snowboarding in his off time.
He's an avid snowboarder. Yeah, okay. It's canon now.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you that was another piece of information. Jimothy, do you recall the piece of information you picked up upon specifically? Okay, Vito.
You mean about the whispers?
No, it was something to do with a particular bear of some kind.
Yes, I remember.
Okay. Okay. Just wanted to make sure you have that with you, whether you want to choose to disclose it or not. But you have that.
Koala bears, just up here in the north.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool beans. Okay, so we'll pick it up there. What would you? Yeah, I'll let you. I'll say that you, Zoran, and Jimothy are kind of chatting away, and then I'll let you decide what you want to do.
I mean, we could just like interrogate Travis before he leaves tomorrow. See what he knows.
Great, he's gonna be dead after the end of that, I'm sure.
No. Not every interaction with Jimothy ends in bloodshed.
They didn't make these northerners so fragile.
Well, I don't think any interaction with Jimothy has ended in bloodshed. It's always been the psychic daggers that have killed people.
Yeah, there's no blood in the process.
What's funny about it is that I think there was this like last like trip or whatever where like the person who traveled with didn't turn out to be like, they were annoying, but they weren't like against you guys. And then once they actually turn on you, Jimothy was like, "Yes, finally, I can murder this individual."
I've been waiting.
I've been waiting for the turn. God damn it. Okay. So, all right. So yeah, let's say you're still downstairs. You're still kind of like in this tavern. I don't think I had you guys go to bed quite yet. Is there anything you guys want to accomplish before you call it a night? That goes for anyone. Vades, Asilo, Oz.
No.
I don't think there's anything I was looking to get done.
Okay. Then we'll say that you guys retire to your rooms. You call it a night. And is there anything you'd like to do prior to going to bed? Who's sleeping with who? All this this business.
Whoa.
You guys have 3 rooms that you have acquired.
I mean, I would like to at least take I don't know, shifts, because haven't we stayed at this place before?
Yes.
The hotel or the place that we're at? Yeah, so I'm gonna at least take a shift, I guess, or something.
So
Okay, so you guys
Whoever's in the room with me.
watch
So
at the same
Hades
time?
feels comfortable sleeping with a silo standing in the room.
I was gonna say I would probably be standing out in the hall, watching all 3 of the doors, because
Yeah,
that's
if
what
you'd
I
like to
do.
that. Okay. So you do that. Does anyone else do anything different? They just kind of go to bed and just kind of be like, all right, well, Asilo will let us know if anything comes up.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my opinion.
Okay. So
Zoran,
you. Say it
when
again?
are you going to trance for the evening?
Me?
Yes.
I can trance at the end. So I probably
Alright,
will stay up a little longer.
I'll trance at the beginning then.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Oh, that's right.
God.
They're sinking.
Pretty much.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
For 4
So-
hours.
That happens. There's a total of like, I think it's like 8 rooms up here. Or no, sorry, that's not right. That's a little like 6 rooms up here. 3 on each side. So a couple of like other people like just kind of like have to like skirt past you, Asilo. They're kind of just like looking at you, just like because you're just standing there like sentinel, right?
Oh,
Like you're not
yeah,
really in motion.
Yeah, I'm standing like off to the side of the hall where I can see like all three doors.
Yeah. So the fact that you're like, like when somebody like stands, right? Like they're not like, they shift their weight or, maybe they breathe or whatever. You're just standing there, like practically motionless.
I probably look like a decorative suit of armor just standing in the
Yeah,
hall.
Exactly. And so when people walk past you, they're just kind of like, uh. They kind of like wave their hand in front of you. Because they saw you before, like totally in motion, but now you're just kind of like completely motionless as they go into their rooms. But they don't bother you any further or anything like that.
I mean, we're heroes of the town. For all they know, they've erected a statue in my honor in this hotel or in this inn.
This dingy backwater hotel.
Yeah, they completely like they're just like, yeah, the heroes.
Have to use that soup money.
Yeah, the soup money. They haven't made any money from it yet, and they're like erecting statues. You know how the Northerners are known for their extreme intelligence. Okay, well, your evening goes unimpeded. Nothing happens. Everyone gets a full night's rest. So you may mark that as such if you had anything that you've lost or anything like that. And we'll call it a new day.
Well, Jimothy will go
Where's
out in the
my
hallway
long rest button?
and see if Asilo is still out in the hallway, or if he's gone, dead.
Was he ever
Timothy.
alive?
Jimothy, as usual, the optimist, or assuming the worst, steps out. Is like, oh, not dead. Cool. As Asilo is still there, motionless again. I don't know if you activate or however it is you kind of like wake up or reanimate Asilo as Jimothy steps out into the hallway.
I just keep standing there perfectly still.
Yeah, I just think Jimothy's gonna like make eye contact, but just like stare at the silo for a few moments. And then
I slowly move my hand like this.
Yeah, I won't say anything. I'll just go downstairs.
Okay.
Or
so you go downstairs.
Out to the main room.
Right, yeah. So you kind of go downstairs and you go to like the main area. Very few patrons are there. That probably some of the individuals that Asylum might recognize for the evening. They're having some breakfast, some coffee, and yeah, it's very, very, very quiet. What would you like to do?
I'm going to sit near the door and watch the front door.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so one of the kind of like the barkeeps or whatever, they come around. It's like, oh, good morning. Anything you'd like, Jimothy?
Peace and quiet, please. Thank you.
Why is he so just weird? I don't know. She's like, all right, and just kind of shuffles away, all just like confused as to why you're just so cold to her. Okay, what are the rest of you? How are you guys? What are you doing this fine morning?
Oh, probably heading down into the common area.
Okay. So
heading down, getting morning meal, and seeing what to do with the day.
Okay. And it's just a really so I'll say one by one, each of you kind of make your way downstairs, and it's relatively mundane. It seems like things have kind of like settled down here in East Haven. Nothing too wild has happened. No one's like running in or anything like that. one by one, she kind of like the barkeep avoiding kind of walking past Jimothy purposefully. If anyone wants to pick up on that, she comes to you and offers you if you'd like to order anything or.
Do
or
we
if
all
you,
just say peace and quiet?
you can do whatever you want. That's the beauty of this game. You can tell off any NPC you'd like.
I think I might play some. You said there's not many people in there, right?
Yeah, no, not yeah. It's maybe like 4 people, not including you guys. So you guys kind of like make the bulk of the people in the downstairs area.
And
Wow,
I don't
Sadie.
see Travix here, right?
Correct. You do not see Travix here. Actually, you know what? Let me check. Let me do a roll here to see if he's here or not.
I mean, if he is a townsperson, I doubt he stayed up at an inn, but I don't know.
Actually, based on the roll, he actually is here.
Fuck? Did he get so drunk he stayed here?
He's one of the four.
He actually is like just about to walk out. He's got like a cup of coffee in hand. He looks a little disheveled. Sorry, a lot disheveled. And he's just kind of like, oh, but he like smells the coffee and it like that brings him a little life into him. And then he takes a kind of like a big gulp from it and he's just, oh, and then kind of like there's a long sigh and then starts moseying out of the establishment.
Perfect.
I guess I'm not at the table yet, but I don't know who I'm gonna walk by before I start to tail him. So whoever's closest to me, I'm gonna let them know to tell Jimothy that I'm going after our guy Travix.
Okay.
Whoever ends up walking by me. I don't know who.
I mean, I suppose Jimothy was watching the door, right? So he would see Travix leaving.
Right, yeah, you Jimothy as well.
Doing, right?
So there's just the one door in this place?
Yeah, there's just one door, main door here.
So Oz is going to just ask, for a friend, did Zoran and Jimothy tell the rest of us anything about
No.
Travix?
I don't know when we would have.
Okay, yeah.
Right, exactly.
I mean,
they're the only two that are.
I was just gonna say we had time, the night before when we were all, going to bed or trancing.
Right.
That's
it seems
true.
like they haven't. I mean, you guys can change that one way or another if you had that conversation or not. But it seems like as of right now, only Zoran and Jimothy are kind of eyeing this individual down.
I mean, I wish it was like sleepover style where like we could recount our days, before we turn in for the night. But I feel like us as a group, we don't really do that.
No, we just sit in the room awkwardly for like 2 hours
Yes.
before it's actual bedtime.
Yes.
What needs to happen is you guys need to sign up for the team like softball or kickball group, and then kind of like start some team bonding or whatever, and then that'll get you guys hopefully meeting outside of the regular work hours.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Oz did just look at his notes for 4 hours before
Right.
going to sleep.
It's his like book that he's flipping through, but like if you were to actually go up to him, like he's like pulling this drawing of an owlbear from page to page, and that's really what he's looking at. He's just trying to fool everyone into thinking he's reading through a book.
Actually made a flip book of an owlbear chasing
Yeah.
someone.
Okay, cool. Oz is like this undead city that he has no idea where it could possibly be. Not interested.
It's just not his cup of tea at all.
Nope. Unless it's got owlbears, in which case, let's go.
They could have dead owlbears there that we don't know
Does that
about.
mean you're thinking about the white moose place potentially had an owlbear, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, there was someone potentially there, maybe,
Mm.
or that could know something about tracking these. But that's only that's only Jimothy. Jimothy knows that. It seems like Jimothy's all of the secrets are with Jimothy right now.
Yep. Yeah, so
Seems
as
about
far
right.
as Oz is concerned, he's thinking we're going after this Cephalic Caltro dude.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of the where Bovades was at, was
Yeah.
at the Chintown's murderer.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Zorn, what are you doing? You're moseying your way over there. You're gonna go intercede this guy or intercept this guy, sorry. Okay. So how are you doing that?
Yeah. I'm just gonna. I mean, I don't feel like he's like running away, so I'm just gonna like, you know, chase after him without running, I guess. So like quickly walking and just
Okay,
being
are you
like,
like calling out to him, or are you
I'm
gonna
gonna be
like tap
like,
him on the
Travix,
shoulder?
hey, hold. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, Travix, hold up.
And he kind of like looks at you. He's his like eyes are a little bit squinty. He's like, ugh, huh? What? Do I know you? You're one of the Southern heroes or whatever.
Yeah, I wouldn't call myself a hero. You know, I just help out when I can. I'm going to say that we met last night because obviously he is very drunk or hungover. So I'm going to say, yeah, we were talking yesterday about maybe going to the corpse city, and I'm surprised that you're leaving without me.
And he kind of looks at you and give me a deception roll, please.
Oh shit.
Yeah, things just don't happen. There's
gonna be
an
good.
element of dice in these games.
I know, I'm just kidding.
You know,
Just
this is all
kidding.
just role playing. So a 7, okay, and he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember talking to you at all. I don't even know who you are.
You mean you don't know who I am? You just said you knew that I was one of the Southerners, the heroes. Blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah. I
but
think you just need more coffee. Like, I don't think that. Did he actually get anything to eat? It doesn't seem like he did.
no, he just got the coffee, which is probably not the
Okay.
greatest idea, but they're not smart, but whatever.
Yeah, like, you know, we should probably Traffics. We should get some food in you. You know, you don't want to be all getting sick on the boat when we go. Like, let's just go back inside and get something to eat.
Whoa,
My treat.
oh. And he's like, I've got to get to work. I've got some work to do. I don't have time for this unless you're paying me. I don't have time to chat.
I'm paying for the meal. Take no time, no time at all. Let's go. Like, I'm gonna just like grab his arm gently and like have him come back into
Put your arm
the
around his shoulder and just like
lodge.
usher him
Yeah,
away
yeah.
from the door.
Yeah.
As he kind of like, he doesn't take too much time, and he's not like resisting against you, but he's like really confused, but he's also like, shit, I am really kind of hungry.
And then I'm gonna like yell at the lady or whoever had helped us before, like, hey, we need 2 breakfast meals or whatever.
Burritos.
Oh,
Someone
like, all
give
right.
this kid a Happy Meal.
Whatever you're serving today.
She's like, all right, 2 spotted dicks coming right up.
Perfect. Sounds great.
Blood sausage for you.
Ew.
No.
And I'll have him kind of get to a table next. Is there a table next to Jimothy in my group, or
Yeah,
I don't know how big these tables are.
Yeah, they're pretty small, but like they're kind of like, you know, relatively like near each other, where you could probably scoot one over. They're not like bolted or anything to the ground or screwed to the ground. And so yeah, you kind of like shift over a little bit, and hello. What was I gonna say? I'm totally distracted right now. Give me 1 second. Okay. So anyhow, yeah, so he's just like, he's like, look, I don't know what you're talking about. I certainly don't remember but like, it seems like you want something from me. So, what is it?
I mean, if you know where this Yithrin is, you know, we would like to know where it is too. We have you know, we are curious about its location as well.
Well, Artie, and he kind of looks at you. He's like, he kind of realizes that like you may know a bit more than he thought. Like he was just kind of like, you thought maybe you were like fishing, but it seems like he might have slipped. He's kind of like realizing himself. He's like, oh shit, I might have actually talked about this.
Yeah, you
he's
talked
like,
to me
"Look,"
about it, and to my friend Timothy. Remember, we got you
he's
so
like,
many
I
drinks last
don't
night.
remember this, but look, I already cut a deal with another guy, and I think we're gonna go together, and
What other
I think we
guy?
can.
Your friend from last night who abandoned
Yeah.
you?
Well, no, I mean, he just got up earlier than I did, probably.
Yeah, probably. Can I recall who the guy was that he was with yesterday? Would I be able to point him out in a lineup?
He's not here. I'll say that.
Okay.
But you may.
Okay.
He wasn't as a script. He wasn't like as he didn't stand out as much as this guy.
Okay.
So he's kind of looking at. He's just like, all right, I'll tell you what. He's like, if you pay me 40 gold pieces, I'll tell you what you need to know, and I'll call it a day.
Timothy's gonna get up and go sit next to him. I like on the other side of Zoran. Other side of him from Zoran.
Yes.
And he goes,
And I'm gonna say 40 gold. That's crazy.
he's like, what
Travis.
I have, it's gonna be pretty valuable information. And like, if I'm gonna have to go with you guys, or he's just like, who knows what if I get swindled out? You know, he's like, you guys are. I mean, I've heard about you guys. You guys bested a bunch of things. What guarantee do I have?
Are you saying that we're
40
not
gold
trustworthy?
seems. I don't know. I don't know you. I mean, he's like, I don't know
I
you.
mean, how do we know that you're not swindling us and your friend from yesterday? Where is your information coming from?
Because I'll give you the documents. 40 gold pieces. Seems fair.
Y'all just need to spend a week with him. You spend a week with him, he will then know you. And, lifetime friends.
He also looks towards
What?
Timothy, because Timothy's got like the wild eyes, right? It seems like right now, or I don't know he's got going on, but he kind of looks at it. He's kind of looking at you. He's like, what's with your friend here?
What do you mean? You know Timothy? Timothy and I were both buying you drinks yesterday. I can't believe you really need to learn how to hold your liquor, man. But
like,
40 gold, it's a little steep. Like, can you give me the morning, I guess? You know what?
You want us to give you
Take some
40 on top of
breakfast.
the 20 we already gave you last night?
Okay, give me a deception check.
Yeah, buddy.
Let's see.
Oh, I'm going to add a d6 to it with my ability thingy.
Okay.
But technically, if you fail an ability check, I'm assuming a 13. I guess if it fails, I can add a d6. So if I do not deceive him, tell me and I'll add a d6.
Yeah. It's kind of an awkward one. Roll the d6, and then I'll kind of like play it off from that, and I'll tell you now. Okay. So then, he's just kind of like, he's like, I don't remember you paying me anything, but maybe we did chat. And he's like, I don't feel 20 gold heavier.
What you did with the gold after we gave it to you is not our problem. You were drinking all night long and buying food and drinks for other people, so that probably went quick. But you're pretty
He's
popular
like,
now, which is more than you could say yesterday.
he's like, look, I don't have that kind of money on me. That's why, like, this 40 gold's life changer. Come on,
Well, how about we add 20 to the 20 we already gave you last night?
man. And he looks at you. He looks at you, and he's just like, "What about 25? 25."
I'll put down 25 gold.
And you put down 25 gold, and he's just like, his eyes light up, and he's just like, "Whoa." He's
If
just
any
like,
of this information turns out to be false, inaccurate, or unreliable, I will return for the gold. And I will be annoyed.
I don't know what that means.
Well, you'll find out.
He's not intimidated. He's just confused where he should be shitting his pants. He doesn't have any idea who he's messing with. uh he's just like, all right. And he's just kind of like feels himself up a little bit, because remember, this is like in the north, right? Like they have like pretty heavy coats. So he like feels himself up a little bit, and he's just like, here it is. And he pulls up like it seems like a crumpled piece of paper. And then Oz, where are you in all this actually? And the rest of you, are you guys kind of like away? You guys kind of like closer? You guys kind of like moved in as this happened?
I'm a few feet away, just sitting down, flipping through my owlbear picture book.
Do you pay any attention to this conversation that's happening?
Oh yeah, Bofades is paying attention the second he watches Orin walk in with someone who just left.
Okay. What about you,
He's like,
Sally?
what's going on here?
I move up and, I'm quietly moving across the room to stand directly behind him.
Clank, 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 clank.
Right,
Mhm.
that's all I can imagine. It's clanky.
I can
Yeah,
try.
give me a stealth check. Why not? Just to see like whether he just scared the shit out of him or not. And then Oz, give me a perception check.
Sure.
While you're
It's clanking.
Mhm.
clanking. He kind of turns around and sees you, Asilo, and he's a little like, it's like, why are you coming over here? Oz, you notice as this individual he's pulling out this piece of paper, you kind of recognize that it's of the same, like not all paper is the same, but this particular type of paper seems like the same type of notes from the necromancer's books or collections that he has. So it seems that like at the very least, like where he got this might be from the same location or the same. It seems got like that same like color and like maybe aged of the paper.
Like skin, leather kind of thing going on.
Right. Like it might be just like that off-white or yellow or whatever. Like this, it's
Like human parchment, if you will.
Yeah, it's this human leather. He's just has no idea what it is. He just thinks it's totally fine. So he pulls it out, and he's just like, he's like, this is all I have, but this should be enough to get you out there. And he kind of like pushes it over between the two of you, Zoran and Jimothy.
And it is a map, right? And it has like an X on it, or like
It has a map. It is a map. It has what it has, which is a little bit interesting. It has like a bunch of kind of like trails and like markers to kind of like, it like has like notes like once you see this, keep going this way. And then it gets to an area where it like a point where it's just kind of like it has like kind of like a large like circle that like and then a note that says it should be around here or approximately around this area. He's like, And then there's a small kind of note. It's very hard to, and actually, that's a really good point. What languages do you speak, Zoran and Timothy, as this is presented in front of you?
Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, and Orc, apparently.
Okay, Timothy.
Those are the ones I chose.
Common, halfling, elvish.
Okay. Yeah, so you both kind of recognize this. It seems like some of the notes were also written in like Elvish, just kind of like changing up the script and like I guess like maybe he was a bit paranoid, whoever this was. But it has a note. It might be buried here, below it as well. Just kind of like saying, okay, like it might not be actually something that's like jutting out from the ground. It might be buried, and that's something they'd have to kind of like look for. So that's a note.
I'm gonna point that out to Travix and say, "Hey, what is this writing here? I want to see if he's gonna tell me the truth or not, or if he really doesn't know."
So this is what's interesting. Okay, so then he kind of looks at it and he's just like, I actually don't know what it says. That's why I was going to go with my buddy. He knows how to read things.
Does he seem like he's telling the truth?
Give me what's it called? Insight.
If you'd like to learn how to read, then I could spend some time and teach you how to read.
Yeah, he's telling the truth. He's like, no, I know how to read. He's like, I don't know how to read the other stuff. Whatever. He just kind of like points to the Elvish.
Oh, my native tongue.
He's just like, what do I have need for that? I don't know.
Okay, well.
In Elvish, I'm just gonna say prick.
So he's like, this is what I have. He's like, oh, I have one more thing. And he goes, here, and he kind of like pushes it forward. And it's kind of like a quick, like it's like a ripped piece of paper. And it's kind of like says, it says like, it's like at the beginning of a like letter or something like that. It doesn't have the full letter, but it says, dearest, or dear Dazin, hope this letter finds you well, classic introduction. And he's just like, it has become apparent that this Zardarok has become more of a nuisance than we originally thought. We must either attempt to communicate with him or figure out a way to undermine him. And then it kind of like cuts off there. You don't really read more from it. But that's how the letter starts.
And it's in common, the letter.
Correct. Actually, this letter is in common.
Okay.
And he's just like, he's like, Daz and I recognize the name. He's like, I don't know who Zardarok is. He's like, or Dazan, I don't know.
Well,
he's like, yeah.
Well, cool. Thanks, I guess. Has the food gone here? I feel like at this point I should force him to eat.
Yeah, the food's come. He's like, can I eat now and go, or are we done here?
Sure, I guess. But what are you gonna tell your buddy since, obviously you were gonna have him go with you or something? we don't want to run into any trouble or something if like he's thinking he's gonna be doing this on his own or something.
He's like, I mean, you can cut him a deal, take him with you, if you want.
Unnecessary.
I could make a copy of the map there.
No, I think just one map would be nice, just for us.
Do we know? I'll look over and kind of look at the map and see the circle. Do I have any idea of like how big of an area that circle is going to represent?
Yeah. So give me what would be a good for your photographer? You have photographer's tools, right, or something like that? Or
Yes.
okay. Maybe what would be a good role for that? I'm always struggling with the roles for that. Maybe just a straight intelligence, I guess, for now. Just kind of like I need to be better about knowing.
Intelligence with proficiency?
Yeah, let's do that. That seems appropriate.
All right. Well, I'm going to take the cheap approach and just do this as a saving throw because it has the proficiency built in.
That works out for me. Yeah, I need to look
Oh.
at
His
that.
name is John C.
Okay. Our first crit. All right, you have. Yeah.
All
so
downhill from here.
Yeah. No, it's pretty great. So, okay, let me actually pull something up real quick just to make sure I am.
Yeah, it's going to be pi r squared, where r would be the radius.
No. Just like based actually like you're actually like pinpointing. Let me okay. So the first thing you notice is that the travel based on like what it is, it seems like it's about to be like maybe 5 days to a week's worth of travel out into the cold. So that's the first thing that you notice. And then it seems like based on like the crude and like the crude drawing, like, you know, there was some attempt to kind of like make this to scale to some degree. It seems like within like maybe like an 1/8 of a mile radius or sorry, diameter. So you know, that's kind of what you're operating with. It's, you know, it's kind of relatively large, but not, you know, mile or whatever you're gonna.
Yeah, it's like here's a circle the size of Canada. Good luck.
Yeah, no, it's not that big. But what you did notice relative to kind of like the kind of like the path, you're just like, oh shoot, this is really getting us out there into into the farther northeast out of 10 towns.
Travis, do you mind sticking around, you know, so you can finish your meal and you know, at your own leisure as me and my companions discuss the map here a little bit more?
He's just like, yeah, whatever, sure. Then he kind of like gets up, takes the food and coffee with him, and kind of like goes sit somewhere else.
What's this a map of?
So this map kind of like shows. So sorry, yeah, just to kind of like.
No. I'd be asking Zoran and Jimothy this as Oz is like just vaguely paying attention.
I see what you're
chimed
saying.
in. He's like, yeah. So what's going on? What are we doing?
That's a really good question. What are you guys doing?
This is potentially a map to Ythrin. Ythrin. So just copy away. We can ask questions later. Just kidding.
Well, okay.
I'm just kidding. We're just gonna keep the map anyways. But yeah, we overheard some we hope we made friends with this guy, and he was talking about knowing the location yesterday.
So the plan would be for us to check this place out. I mean, it's narrowed down a little bit, but it's still a pretty large area. Do we want to tackle that on our own, or would we want another group helping us to try and find the entrance to this? This was an undead city, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean,
do we want to play around with the undead?
Yes. What's the point of having Sense Undead with a paladin if we don't play with undead?
I mean, I just, maybe we'll discover something that is, fortuitous for us, and I would prefer that we, determine when we want to go instead of having to beat another group there. So at least we have the map. I just didn't want Travis to give it to his friend.
Okay.
I mean, no guarantee that he didn't make a copy, I guess, but I don't know.
Good point.
Probably got like a photocopy, as he just
Right.
flipped it over onto his scanner and had it spit out.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much exactly. Okay.
Well,
But yeah,
So
I
you-
mean, if we happen to be in the area, I don't know how far it is from here, but we can decide if it's on the way to wherever we're going next or something, or whatever. At least we'll know.
Yep.
it's about 5 to 7 days travel into the north. So
That's maybe too far. Okay, let me just toss this around.
What the fuck?
you just toss the map into the fire, like too far
Yep.
away. We ain't got
Too
time for
far.
that kind of a.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
We want
You know-
a refund.
That's like a GM's like worst nightmare. You're just like, yeah, fuck it. It's just like all the work just kind of like, oh, okay, that's cool, guys, thanks.
Fuck this storyline.
It's crazy
like,
how that whole location just moved right onto the roadway that you're traveling on.
I'll be like, all right, guys, good session. I'll see you guys next week.
We only want 1 or 2 day sessions. That's it. We don't want to put in too much work.
Well, I think we could either track this down or go after that murderer.
Yeah. I mean, we
think-
haven't really focused too much on the murder, on Suffolk,
Yeah, that's
Caltro.
because we don't want to die. We don't want to get murdered. So I mean,
I
makes
mean,
sense we wouldn't visit.
I think we could try and chase down this city.
Okay, so let's do a vote here, I guess. How are we all feeling? Okay, so who wants to go to this city first, I guess?
Um,
There you go.
I mean,
Looks like
exterminating the foul undead is on the top of my priority list. So, eliminating
Yeah.
evil from the world, I'm
we'll
all
take
about it.
soap with us.
Okay. So, you guys have that. Okay, so, you have all decided to. Okay, so, it's about a week's worth journey, give or take, depending on rolls and a bunch of things to consider. You guys gonna need preparation for the day? What are you guys thinking in terms of when you guys want to leave?
Yeah, I think I have to buy some rations. See if the bar has some wine pouches.
You really want wine canteens, that way none of the wine leaks out.
Yeah.
I would like to see if I can maybe get a, I don't know, breathing underwater or like walking on water potion or something, because apparently that was very helpful for Jimothy and Asilo the last time we were out on the water, and Zorn would like to get something. Not sure yet,
Okay.
but might be nice to have that.
Timothy wants to get a shovel. 2 shovels.
2 shovels.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so for kind of like the sake of moving things forward, we'll just say that unless you guys want to have like interaction, we'll say you go to a shop in East Haven, and you guys acquire said things.
We must role play all of it.
Oh God, no! I will go without it then. Just go.
Should we pick up a climber's kit?
I've already got one.
Oh.
Should we grab more than one?
It might be
Just
worth
in
to pick
case?
one more than one, maybe.
Yeah, we can get a second one.
So climber's kit is 25 gold pieces.
We'll
if you
pay
wanna-
5.
That's
Not how this
no,
No, that's not how that works. Okay.
no.
So I can purchase that. I have enough gold for that.
Say
So
no
25.
saviors discount.
No. No. They're not. They've never heard of you. They were inside the shop the entire time. They never step out.
Is a climber's kit, is that already in the list of stuff?
It's in the items SRD. If you
Yeah.
open that up.
And then rations. Rations are pretty cheap. For a day, it's 5 silver pieces. So, Bofades, if you want to buy however much that looks like, it'll be half a gold per day. So if you want to buy a week's worth,
I'll just spend 5 gold and get 10. I think that's the.
okay, that'll work.
I don't know. And the wine skins, how much are you wanting to charge for those?
Yeah, that's a little bit interesting there, but okay. So water skins typically are like 2 silver pieces. So I'll say one that's like maybe a bit better equipped to like. I mean, it's not that much different than for wine, I guess. I'll say it's like 3 silver pieces.
Okay.
So if you want it filled, it'll be a gold in total.
Okay. I'll just.
Obviously, Bofades wants it filled.
2 of them. Yeah.
Okay, so 2 gold to kind of have two of these.
Cool.
These skins. You've got decent amount. Okay. Anything else? Other equipment?
Do they happen to have any potions in here? I feel like they
Potions.
weren't. Yeah.
Let me do a roll here in terms of availability. Yeah, potions.
I feel like Jimothy had a ring of, or no, yeah, a ring
Water
of
walking.
water walking and a ring of swimming is what a silo has.
Mhm.
Anything kind of like that, or potion form would be fine too, I guess.
Oh, for like water walking or something like that, or
Yeah, or swimming. Yeah, either of those. I feel like
Okay.
this shop probably doesn't have everything I want, but something
yeah,
that would help on the water would be great.
Okay. So, let's see here.
I'm also looking for kind of a potion of health. So if you want to include that in your
Yes.
inventory roll.
Health potions, there are. So there is a health potion there. There's actually, let me roll for that real quick. How many, if you want to snack all of them or none of them? Whoa, there are 4 total. So if you want to buy all 4 of them, they'll be 50 a pop.
I'll grab one.
What kind
I'll
of health
grab-
potions are these? Just regular health potions, or
Yeah, they're regular health potions. Yeah, there's no greater or anything like that.
I will be taking the second one.
Okay. So make
I'll
sure you
take
mark
the
that.
third.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. And then, sir. Okay, so for ability to swimming. You find that there is a potion for swimming. It seems like. Let's see.
I'm guessing it's like for a certain amount of time then. It's not
Mm.
like a Silo's ring of swimming that he could just wear.
Yeah,
attuned.
and it is pretty expensive actually.
And how much are the standard health potions? Is it 50?
50. Yeah,
Okay.
50
50.
pop.
If it
There's
helps, I did buy 2 potions of healing before, so I have 3 total, just for anyone else in the group. So FYI.
So they're just like, oh, I think I have this. This is gonna be about 300 gold pieces, so then it'll do the effect that you need.
For how long? A day?
For like an hour.
I have the.
Now, okay, to help you out here a little bit, just so like, and Oz, because he rolled a natural 20. Where you guys are going is you're going east into like more like mountainous type terrain versus west, where you kind of get more towards like bodies of water. So if that helps your decision. It may not be helpful now, but maybe like when you come back and try to explore other areas, it might be helpful then. So,
Yeah,
and
it
that's
kind of
because
seems
Oz rolled a
like
natural. So
kinda
if
seems
that
like the
helped
only.
decision one way.
Are there any potions of ice breathing? Because I feel like we're going into ice.
No.
Yeah.
If there is, I'm maybe there is one, but as of right now, I'm not gonna look it up. No.
No, okay, then no, I don't need the potion, but let's get a couple of shovels.
Okay.
I already got a couple shovels.
Yes.
Huh? You already got the
yeah.
shovels? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Too many to pick up.
I'll give a Silo one.
Okay.
And I'll give Zord one.
It's okay. We don't want a third one? I'm just kidding. No, that's fine. Can we just put it in our bag of holding? I don't want to actually like carry this shit with me.
Yeah, I'll leave it in my inventory. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Just to be clear, I'm not going to be the one using them, though.
Yeah, that's fine. You can put a label on it that says Jimothy will not use or something.
I'd have to use like a serving spoon as a shovel.
I threw one in my inventory, so I know that we have it.
Okay, I'll take one out.
Okay. So, let's see here. Anything else you'd like to snag before? And are you guys leaving today? I'm assuming.
Waste no time.
Don't see why not.
Yeah. Everyone has
We'll head out
enough
this evening.
rations, blankets, I don't know, fire.
I'm gonna buy Travix 3 shots from the bar and leave them with him before we leave.
I will pay the bar. I will pay the barkeep.
No, I was gonna pay.
And tip.
I'll pay. No, I'm paying. I'm going to buy for Travix 3 shots and leave them for him.
Okay.
3 shots of what?
Whatever high alcohol content drinks they have.
So, okay, he's like, whoa, thanks. Wow, you're a pretty good guy.
Well, you just have a good morning.
And he goes, all right. And he just immediately starts just downing them and getting trashed.
What did you lace it with?
Nothing. Just want him to pat back out and us to be out of town before he wakes up and maybe remembers what he did. Tells his friend.
Yeah, I am going to ask the barkeep if they recognize Travix and like the person that he hung out with last night.
And she's like, oh yeah, no, I thought I told you a little bit about him. I don't know who his friend is though. He gets drunk here a lot. It seems like, why is he drinking now?
Oh, I don't know, but his friend. So he like lives here. Do you know where he works or like?
Yeah, I think he's like a smith maybe, um, or he works with us, the local smith.
Okay, thank
But
you.
okay, bye bye.
Bye.
Like safe travels.
Yep, you too. Oh damn.
He's just like, oh, you idiot, you
Yes.
absolute moron. I'm not traveling. No, she does not say that.
Traveling
It's actually
home
nice.
at the end of my shift.
Okay. Cool beans, everyone. All right. So, we all have your goodies.
Yep, we need a ship, and we need someone to take us who maybe knows how to, navigate that ship or boat. I don't
we
trust the
actually-
5 of us to get there ourselves
Do we actually need a ship
or
based
whatever.
off of the map?
No. You actually don't need one.
Oh, sweet.
Are we taking a land yacht?
Then let's take a wagon or whatever we need.
You guys, yeah. I mean, so okay. So just to kind of give you a little bit of yes, you guys are going northeast, outside of 10 towns. You guys have passed. You're going to be kind of like traveling. Kind of like along the same kind of like path where you went to the caves where you fought the witch. But then you're gonna keep going past that. You're gonna just kind of be riding along the water up until it just you kind of like there's gonna be a point, and this is the first transition that you see Oz on the map, where it's just like, okay, once you see this piece of the water kind of like start to curve back and start going west, so the kind of like the body of water like keeps going along to the east, and then it starts to kind of like curve back. He says like once that first curvature happened, keep heading east, northeast, and that's like the first set of instructions that you have. But yeah, you'll kind of be walking along unless you want to take like a boat and ride it along the water up to that point and leave the boat there. There's kind of not really a need to take one. So that's your call.
No, let's skip the boat.
Okay, great. So then if we're all gonna head out, I would like everyone to give me a survival check, please.
Yay, my favorite role.
Everyone's
Mine
favorite
too.
group survival.
What the hell's going on? I mean, what the hell is going
boy.
on?
Okay, everyone, what do we got here? Got a 2, a 9, a 7, a 21, and a 9.
Less
Whoa.
than ideal. Less than ideal.
Less than ideal.
Oh yeah, my 1 turned into a 6 because of my halfling thing. I was like, I don't see my 1.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. I heard it twice, and I was like, I don't see it. Okay. So let's see here. Yeah, not great. But fortunately enough for you, you kind of done this path before a little bit, so it wasn't like you're completely like this first check wasn't really super difficult. But it takes you a little bit longer because at first you kind of rode it along the water. When you first to the cave, and it's been a couple days or so since this happened. But if you guys remember kind of how the terrain was, like you guys kind of like kept riding along the water, and then it became kind of like almost like elevating up, and like there was cliffside for all the cave systems there. And so now you're kind of like on the actual land as you're going across, and you're kind of like slowly sloping up, and that part in terms of like gaining elevation becomes a little bit more cumbersome in terms of like which path you want to take. So you slow down a little bit, and this takes about let me check just to make sure I have the map here. This is about okay. So yeah, this takes about like 3 hours. Takes you about 3 hours to finally get to the and then to the first spot where you kind of like slope up. You kind of go back down after you pass some of the cave system, and then Oz, you notice you're the only one who really notices this because everyone's just kind of like following you, where the body of water kind of starts to it's almost like a sharp kink in terms of like start turning towards the west again for a little bit. And you're just like, okay, I think this is it. And you're just like, okay, I'll continue starting it. Just head almost directly east from here. And you have that intuition in terms of like positioning and stuff like that. You're just like, okay, I think this is the right direction. And so far, so good. So that's the kind of like the first set of rolls. This kind of takes you to like midday, maybe a bit past that, but it's about midday. And you feel like, yeah, the weather is surprisingly calm. It's really dreary out. You know, it's kind of always been like that, but it's not snowing. It's just kind of like just cold. The sun's not really peeking through, so you're not like blinded by all the white around you. And it's surprisingly the kind of like the best weather you've had, all things considered.
So it's better than Kansas.
It is. It is technically better in Kansas than here in the north of this world. Okay, so is there anything you guys like to keep doing along the way, or are you guys just kind of like trucking along, walking? What are you guys doing? Or you guys want to just focus in, just travel away?
I'll try and keep my eye open for owlbears along this trip.
Okay. Anyone else?
I will keep an eye out for potential dangers.
Okay.
I'm just traveling.
I'll hide in the back of the pack.
Okay, and then Buffettes?
I feel like I'd be a little cold, so I think I'm going to focus on the travel.
Okay. So then I'll have Asilo and Oz give me perception checks in terms of like, you know, are they spotting anything? Okay. So, okay. So kind of with the rolls 11 and 13, yeah, it seems like you don't see anything immediate. Every now and then you, Asilo, you spot like a little white fluff running across, and you assume it's some sort of hare or rabbit running across the kind of like the hills and the snowbanks here, but nothing too exciting. Okay, so I'll have you roll another set of survival checks to kind of like see the next leg of the journey here and how things are going.
I hope this one's better than the last one.
And his name is John. And his name is John C.
Let's go. Okay, so what do we got? 10, 11, 19, 21. Are we? Oh no, here we go. 5, 10. Okay. Well, okay. So yeah, this time Jimothy somehow, you know, kind of hiding the pack, he starts to kind of like pull ahead. You know, maybe the kind of like the exhaustion of this path kind of settles in on some of you, but you guys start making it through, and then you realize like you were kind of like at a point of elevation, and then it's as you observe out, it seems like it's like a series of like dips and valleys and like almost like a little hillside. But what's amazing about it is at this point, at first you were kind of like seeing some trees, but now you're not seeing anything. It is just white, just the sky So you got like a little bit of the sky, some of the clouds, and then just a white of hills, and you don't see like a single tree. And then to the south east of you, you see large mountains miles away from you. But it is quite a sight. But that you guys keep on traveling. And as you know, in this kind of like in the Icewind Dale in this area, the days are relatively short, and as you are, nothing comes and disturbs you, but nightfall kind of settles. So you kind of have one decision you kind of have to make. You've been kind of heading mainly east, northeast-ish, based on kind of like the map and the instructions that you have there. But you will kind of be out in the open. What you could do is you could start heading a bit south, a bit farther south, that kind of like maybe get closer to the mountains to actually maybe spot something for you to. But it seems like maybe this first night you might be out just directly in the terrain here. So it's kind of a decision you have to make. You kind of lose a little bit of time if you kind of like start looking to a bit more of like the mountainous area, like at the base of the mountains, or you continue on the path that you're at that seems to be the most direct.
I feel like with the weather, possible to get horrible up here. Maybe we try to play it as environmentally safe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay. So what does that look like? What do you guys think? Do you guys want to keep out here? Or do you guys want to kind of like move closer to the mountains? I mean, the disadvantage of being close to the mountains, right? Like, there's, snowfall. When you're out there, in the blank, there's nothing really. Like, you're kind of just exposed to the elements here. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure we want to leave ourselves totally open there to the elements.
I mean,
Okay.
unless we find like a suitable, somewhat defensible camping space on the way to the mountains, I say we go to the mountains and find something there that we can fortify somewhat.
Right. Yeah.
Does everyone seem to be on board with that call there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Great. So you guys continue traveling along, and then you get to you kind of start heading a little bit south, and yeah, as kind of nightfall approaches, you approach kind of like the first set of like elevation change. You kind of like, okay, here's a little bit of a nice incline, but it's not actually at the base of the mountains. You're just kind of like, okay, and then but there seems to be like some spots that are kind of like almost like little hills where you can just be like, oh, okay, if we position ourselves directly, you might be getting out of the wind. But here, what the advantage is, like, if you keep traveling, you kind of like start seeing, just kind of like you saw in Kelvin's Cairn, you start kind of seeing like a little bit of like rock piles and rock formations, which is a bit interesting in terms of like the terrain, where those could be like spots for you to kind of position yourselves for the night. But those are a little bit farther if you want to push into it's getting kind of dark now, so your guys' call, if you want to push a little bit farther to get to those points and travel in the night, or kind of stop here where you got a little bit of the snow drift hills kind of like blocking maybe a little bit of it.
I feel like we should probably hold up here for trying to
If we,
elements as possible.
I'd say, if we're in a hilly area, like try and find, kind of a low spot that we can get some protection from the wind and maybe build it up a little bit if we have to.
Okay. So yeah, so you guys stop there, and you guys have this. You guys choose kind of like one. I would roll again for that. You kind of hunker down. Sorry, you guys aren't downstairs, so you guys have like a tent. You guys have like a thing you put up. You guys are gonna like bundle up.
Yeah, because we don't have a hut, right? Like a tent hut or anything. How do we do?
Level 5.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I still have these two parts, so if we want to use that at all, we can.
We have some shovels. We could dig ourselves a hole.
Just bury ourselves here.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say build up some snow walls and then stretch a tarp across the top of it, and maybe a pit for a fire in front of it.
Yeah. So you guys do that. And as I said, yeah, I won't have you roll for this. It takes you a bit of time, maybe a little bit longer, but you get it tonight, and you get to a point where you're just like, okay, I think this is as good as it's gonna get. You guys are pretty tired, right? Like this. I mean, just think about traveling, in Canada right now, literally for hours. It's gonna be exhausting. You have the winter weather clothing that's kind of like protecting you from this, the elements here for now. But as the cold kind of like the sun, whatever little bit of light that you had starts to go away, the temperatures start to drop, which is, and I guess I haven't given like a little bit of description up here. It's like, it's like almost like pretty dry. It's like almost like once you're getting a little bit farther out here, a little bit away from the water, it's like a bit more like deserty, right? So like, when the sun goes away, like there is a vast temperature drop as well from that. Okay. So what I'll have you do as you kind of like put the tarps over you and decide to rest, I'll have you roll a couple Constitution saving throws as you see whether you can withstand this weather and whether you wake up relatively refreshed or not.
Make 2?
Just one. One for now.
Does Oz need to roll because he's going to be sleeping with his Staff of Frost?
And his name is John
No, you're good.
Oh
no, I think you have resistance. Yeah.
Yeah.
And his
The
name is
staff
John
gives.
Cena.
Jeez. Okay, John Cena, announcer guy.
Okay, guys. Like it's just a constant.
Wait.
This check wasn't that
Right.
hard. So.
Y'all,
We
y'all are really
properly-
thriving up here.
I was gonna say we properly built up our little camping area for the night, so everybody's good.
Yeah. Okay, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everyone just rushes. Wait. Oh yeah. And what's ironic enough about this? You guys sleep better here than you slept in most of the inns that you've stayed at so far. Somehow you've made it.
Because we're not fearing for our lives.
Well,
and someone
babies.
busting into our room.
Stealing our
Hades
cup.
prefers the wilderness.
Owlbear grills. Okay. So yeah, you guys have a pretty relatively you guys doing watches though? Sorry, like you guys pretty comfortable, like, but did you guys want to do watches for the night or anything like that? Or you guys are just like
I once again trust
Zorn.
Asylum.
Yeah,
Oh,
Zorn
yeah,
will at
like
least, Zorn will keep Silo company on this first watch.
Okay,
Also-
so I'll take first watch with Zoran and then go into stasis. Cryogenic stasis.
I'll do second watch.
okay.
Okay, then I'll wake up Oz after the 4 hours.
Okay, and then last watch, sorry.
I can do it.
Okay, cool. So first watch, give me some perceptions. I mean, you got the top tarp covered, so it's going to be basically solely on sound. Okay, so with a 7 to 19, Silo, you're kind of just hanging out. Zoran, you hear mainly the howls of the wind. There is one point in the night that you hear like a different type of yell. It's so far away, you're like, that could still be the wind. But it's just like, oh, that's a bit odd. but that's it. You don't. Nothing comes near you at all. Like you just hear like something that's just like, oh, that didn't sound like the regular wind, and then it just kind of like gets lost as the wind kind of like howls around that hill around you. But that, yeah, your guys' watches come to a relative end. Moving on to the second watch.
All right, I'll wake up Oz, let him know I just heard wind all day or all night. So, goodbye.
Yep.
Bye.
Okay. Next roll here.
Woo.
13. Kind of same thing. Relatively undisturbed. I guess to a point where like, it does like kind of crescendo in terms of like how light it gets, and then like it becomes surprisingly like relatively calm towards the end of your watch there, Oz, as it comes to an end. Anything you like to do during that watch or anything, or
no, I don't think so. I mean, his companions are trying to sleep. Silo's doing whatever the heck they do. Machine people.
okay, so you move on to the next person and you wake up Bofades there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, Bofades, give me a perception check, please. And pretty good, similar to everyone else. Yeah, nothing. You don't even hear anything different. It's just continual wind. Nothing too exciting. Did you want to do anything during your watch, Bofades?
Yeah, so during my watch, I know I'm listening, but I'll also be, very quietly strumming my lute, using my musician feet to play the Song of Rest. And doing that, I can give out inspiration to two individuals. So I'll give that to Jimothy and Oz.
Okay, cool. There you go. So you guys have a little bit of inspiration there. Okay. And as your watch comes to the end, you see a little bit of a little bit of light start coming through, or you feel a little bit some warmth on the tarp, and you're just like, oh, okay, I think this might be time to wake up. And you wake up to the next day, and you guys already have marked it before, but you guys have a full night's rest. Everything's unimpeded, and you can continue on to the next leg of your journey.
Guys, it's been really hard to not take shape water because we have all this just cold water around us that we could melt and then shape it into what we need it, and then it's like negative degrees up here and it would freeze again, I feel. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I can remove my point of exhaustion.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you're totally fine.
Because apparently it doesn't automatically do that when you long rest.
Yeah, you have that. Yeah, you're totally fine. You guys were able to succeed on the rolls and everything. Okay, so the next day, and again, it seems like you guys are you guys gonna get closer to the mountainside and keep traveling along there, or are you guys gonna just stay around these hills here? Because that was like the kind of like the decision that you were considering last night before you decided, like, okay, let's just hunker down here.
It seems like it'll be less windy and not too far out of the way. I guess we could move to like the base of the mountain.
Okay.
And continue that way.
Everyone seem okay with that? Okay. Cool. All right, then I'll give you a fresh set of Actually, I'll say you guys keep traveling because you guys got comfortable with the terrain. Give me a perception checks as you guys are traveling along and seeing if you spot anything along the way there. Okay. So for those of you that rolled 15 and above, unfortunately, Silo, you don't see this.
You gotta get your eyes checked,
I
Asilo.
say my eyes were open all night, so they're like glazed over with frost.
You need to use your windshield wipers or something.
But about an hour, maybe like 2 hours into kind of like your travel, you notice like a band of, and this is like north of you. So you guys are kind of like towards the base of the mountains. This is like north of you. You notice like a band of humanoid individuals traveling across the hillside together. And Jimothy, you in particular notice that these individuals are a little bit larger, just kind of like based on like how far they are. They're just a little bit larger than like a standard humanoid.
How many does it look like?
Based on, let me see here.
So they're like 6'4". Is that what Jimothy's picking up on?
It seems like maybe more than maybe like 10, 20 of them around there. It's kind of hard to tell like how they're positioned, but it seems like a relatively larger group.
And how far off does it seem?
It seems like they're about maybe like a half mile away.
Are they traveling towards us, parallel, away?
Seems like they're traveling parallel, and it seems like they're going the same direction you guys are. Maybe not south.
I'll point them out to everyone, and I guess we'll just keep an eye on them, and then if they seem to notice us and start approaching, then I guess we can decide what to do then.
Okay. Cool. So, all right, you guys continue the travel there. And it seems like after like a couple more hours, they start like heading south, southwest from you. So they kind of like start going around. So like it seems like you guys are like kind of like pulling ahead from them. And then Oz, I need you to give me another intelligence and proficiency to kind of make sure you're all understanding the map here.
I'm sure this is gonna go well.
Okay. I mean, it's not that complicated, but you're just gonna like, okay, I think we're still heading east. Whether or not exactly we're following, and you haven't hit like the next kind of like set of instructions. There, where the next set of instructions is, once you see the break, there's going to be a break in the mountains that dips south. You'll see a break in the mountains, and you'll have to start kind of like heading south towards that break. So that's kind of like the next step, but you haven't achieved that.
Oh. Well, I mean, mountains are big, so I feel like that's going to be hard to miss.
Right, exactly. So you're just like, okay, it's just a matter of like traveling, essentially. Because now you're closer to it, so like, but it'll be pretty easier now because you're going to be along them, essentially. You're just like, oh, there's going to be a relatively large break here. Okay. So, but yeah, after hours, they kind of like start going the opposite direction a little bit from you, and it seems like you're going to miss them. The day keeps going along. And I'm going to need everyone to roll a Constitution saving throw, as today is particularly kind of cold here. And it's just it's pretty windy throughout the day.
His name is John C.
Do you need me to roll too?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Okay. So what do we got? Looks like Bofades.
Bofades?
Yeah, sorry.
You're good.
I thought I clicked it.
Okay, so Okay, everyone succeeds. Surprisingly enough, even Jimothy there, you're able to withstand the elements. You got a bit colder than usual, but you're not. You don't take any exhaustion as you continue along. After a bit more hours, the monotony setting in. You're just like, oh my god, when are we gonna get there? And this is day 2, right? Like it's gonna be a bit longer than you anticipated. But towards like the end of the day, you guys finally, Oz, you finally see like a large break. You're just like, oh, okay. It seems like this is kind of like you guys are kind of like riding along the mountains, and it kind of like dips like a large sharp turn south, and then you start traveling, and you see there's a large break in the mountains there.
I don't think that's big enough. We should keep going east.
Your call. And so you're just like, okay, so now we head south a little bit. And then the next indicator based on the map, it is that you head south, keep going southeast, and then you'll see kind of like almost like 2 mountains between each other. There's like a narrow path between them. Narrow, relatively speaking, for mountain terms, but it seems like there's going to be a path between 2 sets of mountains. That's kind of like the next indicator there. And so you keep on traveling. Is there anything you guys are doing throughout the day, like to kind of, are you guys chatting? Are you guys thinking about anything? I mean, it is really just long and just rough.
Trying to figure out why the hell we came up this far north.
Yeah. I suppose Buffades will be talking to, a silo about the undead and his feelings on it. It's like, what's going to happen if we ever make it to this city? Because I don't believe Buffades has had too many undead interactions.
Right.
I'll just keep an eye out for that band of slightly larger than human people.
Okay, give me a perception check, please.
They're probably on like stilts.
20. Yeah, so you kind of like were keeping an eye throughout them the entire time, and then they're not appearing to you now. It seems like they kind of like we're going sufficiently enough in the opposite direction. We're not really aiming directly towards the mountains, at least where you're at, and they're kind of gone there.
Okay.
Okay. So the kind of like you keep traveling, and then you still don't see the part where the kind of like the break between like the path between 2 mountains are, but again, it's coming towards the end of the night, or towards the end of the day as you approach into the night, and you guys kind of have to consider whether you're going to hunker down or kind of push through and keep going.
I feel like we should try and find any kind of spot that seems, naturally protected against wind. So, maybe kind of an indention in one of the mountains or in between hills or something again.
Sure.
Or, a mountain cottage if there's one in here. That seems like a good choice.
Yeah, if we could go with that. Cottage. That'd be great.
Yeah, does it have Wi-Fi?
Like an Airbnb, something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like Le Chateau on the mountain. Okay, so you guys kind of keep looking on this. Everyone give me a perception check. Jimothy, yeah, you can roll again if you'd like, but or you can use the one you have there. Either one.
I'll use the one I got.
Okay.
Oh,
You guys are all blind.
Oh wait, am I able to re-roll too? I'm just kidding.
No.
Just kidding.
Okay. Jimothy, again, you notice, yeah, so you're kind of like looking at the you're looking at the kind of like towards like looking for like a space in the open, and you notice that like there is like a space in the hillside that seems a bit appropriate. And Asilo, you kind of notice this too. He's like, oh, I think this is a good spot. And then both you and Asilo kind of notice that there seems to be like something sticking out from the bottom. Like you see like something's like protruding from the ground.
At the mouth of this cave hole in the wall.
Hey, it's not really like it's more like maybe like a small like hole in the wall that's like, you know, it goes in maybe like 5 feet into like like it's but you notice that there is like something like it maybe like a rock. It's like a weird shaped rock or something's like sticking out from the ground.
How close are we?
You guys are about probably maybe like 100 feet out from it.
Does it look inanimate?
It looks inanimate, correct?
All right, then I'll walk up to it.
Okay, you walk up to it and you notice that it's like a boot, like a
drinking boot?
No, not a drinking boot. Like a
Das boot?
What's this a boot, eh?
I will.
You find a Canadian frozen in the tundra. No, I'm just kidding.
I will, without touching it, I'll look. I mean, does it look like it's is it like frozen into the ground? Is it just laying in the snow, or what?
It's like the kind of like the boot's like jutted out 45 feet out. Like it's kind of like almost like just like the tip of the like the toe of the boot is like sticking out, and like almost everything else is like submerged or beneath the snow or whatever.
All right, I will. I'll pull out my rapier.
Okay.
And I'm gonna scrape away the snow from where the body would be connected to this boot if a body were under the snow.
And sure enough, yeah, you scrape away and you notice that the boot is attached to a leg.
Hey! I will immediately administer CPR.
Is the boot green? Are they green boots?
They are not green boots. They are like fur. They're like almost like wolf skin or wolf fur boots.
Is that a reference to the Himalayan mountains?
Everest green boots? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. But they're not. Undead bad must be dead.
Okay, so I'll brush away enough snow to see what this person looks like.
Okay, you kind of like pull away, and it looks like it is a young human. It seems like they're you don't know how long they've been there, but they are frozen over.
Like a child, or
maybe like a teenager, like maybe like 15, 16-year-old.
All right, well, I'll brush around in the snow around their body and see if there's anything in the snow around them.
Okay, give me a perception check, please. Or investigation check, actually, as you're kind of seeing if you find anything. Okay, wow, straight roll, dang. Rolling rocks here tonight. Okay, with investigation, yeah, you're able to find kind of like his bag. He had a kind of like a little like backpack, like a burlap backpack essentially, pretty shoddily made.
Like a school
you kind of like
lunchbox.
What?
Like a school lunchbox.
Yeah, you find a Cars lunchbox with like Lightning McQueen on it, and it says "Ka-chow" on it.
Okay.
Sorry, that was way too specific, but so you find
Your
that.
favorite movie is?
Yeah, my favorite movie of all time, Cars. Not even Cars. Cars 2, my favorite movie of all time.
I mean, you mentioned that, but I literally watched Planes yesterday.
Okay. That's awesome. Okay, so yeah, you find you notice that like as you kind of like dig away, yeah, something like he looked like he had like a big bite mark on him, kind of like bit on the side of him, like at his abdomen. But yeah, you find some stuff, and then you find some like frozen over rations, like some jerky. You find some like cold like blankets. You find a small pouch of silver, and you find 6 silver pieces in it. Not too exciting, but you have that.
All right. Well, I will brush some snow back over him.
Okay.
Best burial I could do when they're frozen solid.
This is like
Did,
Okay.
Did you take the 6 silver?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I figured.
Did you take any of the rations, any of the clothing or the blankets or anything? Nah.
I mean,
Okay.
no, probably not. I'll cover him up with a blanket. How about that?
There you go. That's nice of you. Okay, but yeah, this seems like maybe the best spot. It also seems like you're gonna be sleeping next to a body here.
You don't smell it, right?
You do not smell it. It is perfectly preserved from the cold hellscape.
Safe to say there's no scavenger animals around this part, so I think this is a good place to stay.
Okay. Cool beans.
Yeah,
All right.
What are the chances that we also freeze to death here?
Probably a lot higher than if we froze next to something where there wasn't a dead body that's frozen to death.
It's funny how that works, right? Okay. So, all right. Okay, so you guys hunker down for the evening, all kind of hand wave because you guys were able to kind of figure out the same TARP procedure. Are you guys gonna do a watch again, or you guys feel pretty comfortable here? Just kind of make.
Soren still wants to do a watch, so she'll probably still join a silo for just the first 4 hours, like the first watch or something.
Okay.
So the first hour of my watch, I'll cast ceremony on the body and do funeral rite.
Oh, that's less fun than I thought it was gonna be.
Damn.
I thought you were gonna throw like a party or something.
Wedding.
Coming of age, baby. We got a body.
No, funeral rites.
Okay.
And I will.
This is really cool. I need to look into this spell just to kind of like give you more opportunity to play with it or use it because like it seems kind of it's very flavorful, right?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. I like it. It says you spend 25 gold pieces worth of powdered silver. Are you okay with spending that? Just saw that at the bottom there.
Really? Oh. Sure. Where's my inventory at?
Okay. Dang, that's a pretty expensive level 1 spell. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Pretty expensive funeral.
For a commoner, yep.
And make sure he doesn't come back as an undead for a week.
That's
I
true.
feel like there are other ways that we could accomplish that would be not as costly.
Probably a little sacrilegious though.
I mean, I'm gonna keep that statement to myself.
Okay. All right. So you guys hunker down. We'll do first watch here. Give me perception checks. I believe it's Soren and a silo.
Misunderstand Celso. They're ordering first watch.
And his name is Johnson.
Gosh, dang it.
Any 20s.
I am very aware of what is going on around me while I'm performing my rites.
Yes, while you're performing your rites. Okay. So, the evening goes, your watch goes relatively undisturbed, except towards the end there, Silo, where you, with your natural 20, you hear across the winds a little bit, but you seem to be relatively unimpeded by everything. But you do hear like almost like a roar, and you've heard this sound before.
Timothy, did you remember to
Right.
eat?
It's far away again, still, but it's a similar sound. And it is the howl of a yeti. That you've had the kind of the experience of hearing before. But yeah, very far away. And you don't hear it again, and then as your watch goes unimpeded.
Okay.
So moving over towards the next watch, I believe it is Oz, correct?
Yep. Figure we'll
Okay.
stick to that.
I let Oz know that I heard a Yeti in the distance.
Okay.
Hopefully,
all right. So
hopefully
yeah,
they stay away.
yeah, hopefully they stay away. As you do your next watch, perception 19. Okay. This time, yeah, you don't hear anything. But you do hear. You don't hear a Yeti sound, but you do hear like a different, like roar / sound or something like it's like calling out. You're not exactly sure what it is.
Does it sound like a hooty like bear noise?
Give me a nature check, please.
Okay. I should be decent at these. Not tonight.
It's I'll say this: it's distinct from a Yeti sound, but you can't quite tell what it is. You're just like you heard it kind of like faintly. You're just like I'd have to hear it like it was a bit farther away as well, but you're just like I can't quite tell.
All right, I'll head in that direction.
Okay.
I'm
You're gonna
kidding.
leave camp?
I'm kidding. No. Gosh. Oz
Okay.
is not quite that impulsive. Maybe if my wisdom was like a 6, he would just be like, "Nah, we can go."
Okay. But you do hear something that is a bit different. But you can't quite put your finger on what it is. Doesn't sound. You're not sure if it's hooty or not, or what exactly it could be a combination of. As your watch comes towards an end,
You can't tell if it's Hootie or the Blowfish.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it.
I fucking hate my
Yes, I wake
players.
up Bofades.
You wake up both 80s? Both of these?
And, I'll let him know about the 2 different noises and say that I did not hear the Yeti sound, but a silo did.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. For the final watch, again, for you, Bofades, it goes relatively undisturbed. You guys don't have to roll any Constitution saving throws for the night. You guys are able to kind of like position yourselves strategically, and you kind of do well enough with the tarp that you guys kind of bear through the elements. And you guys make it through the end of the night here. Okay, so the next day comes, and yeah, you guys kind of wake up. You guys take a long rest. You guys are pretty much undisturbed. I'll have you guys roll a set of survival checks for this day. We'll kind of move things along here. Because I don't want to do 7 days strictly of travel. But goodness, a lot of crits today. Unfortunately, not in combat mode, but
Right.
which is great. Love it. Okay, so yeah, 10, 19, 16, 6. Are we missing someone? There you go. 12. Okay. So yeah, it's taking a bit of time, but you guys are rolling relatively well. Silo seems to be maybe the funeral rite, or the funeral service, or whatever it is, but maybe like somehow he feels a bit more emboldened here as he kind of takes a little bit of the charge here. As you travel for maybe like an hour or two, you finally, as Oz, you kind of notice like, oh, there it is. You see kind of like a distinct opening between like these two mountains as kind of like that, almost like break apart. And you're just like, okay, this seems like the part where we need to start traveling through. As you guys start heading towards there, you guys travel along this for quite a while, and it's kind of like meanders kind of like in and out of, it's almost like it was like cracked or something, like the two mountains, because like it's almost like a river was flowing through it as it kind of like goes back and forth. And it's about like maybe 20 feet, or no, maybe like 10 to 15 feet at the narrowest point, and about almost like 40 feet at the widest point of this path. As you make it through, and you travel through this practically all day. You guys kind of gain some elevation, go down a little bit, and that goes day 3. You guys kind of hunker down again, and we'll kind of move this along here. We'll say that day 3 goes by relatively undisturbed. Day 4, I'm gonna make a roll here just for no reason in particular. Day 4 again goes by relatively undisturbed as well. And then we're up for the 5th day here, as you're kind of like, you kind of open up, you guys get out of it. And I'll make one more roll in terms of if you stumble upon anything out of curiosity.
Like a treasure chest?
Like a treasure chest or anything of note here. Sure enough, nothing to the point, but you still feel like you haven't reached the part of interest. And so now we're approaching day what is this? Let's see, 3, 4, 5 here. I'll do one more roll on that. Is there anything you guys want to be doing through these kind of like days? I mean, this is getting just rough.
Yeah, we're all going to be working towards our next, I think, our next level up, you know.
Yeah.
We're going to be lifting weights, you know, picking flowers, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Buffetti's going to be spending most of his time trying to figure out where he went wrong with that song failure in the last bar, and really dive into the words and the storytelling and the rhythm that needs.
I feel like that's just going to live with Buffetti's until he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the next day comes around, and we'll do. I'll have you guys actually roll some survival checks this particular day. See how well you guys do today in terms of making through. Oh my! Crit City. At least one of you keeps rolling a crit here. Okay, 14, 18, 22, 14, and 15. Okay, great. You guys have a great day. In fact, so great that you finally reach kind of like the last indicator on the map here, about half day. You guys really made some excellent travel today, where you guys are like, hang on a second. Oz, you're kind of like, I think we might be close here. As Zoran's just kind of like been spearheading everybody, just like, all right, let's go. Like, this fucking sucks. Like, keep going.
Yeah, that tracks.
No, she's not actually saying that, but I mean, it's not exciting, just this particular travel. But then you guys finally are just like, you leave a little bit of the parts there, and you kind of like get to the area. It's almost like a big like cluster of like, you have like mountains just all around you. It's almost like kind of like an opening of up. And you think Oz, you're just like, this might be the kind of like square, or like this rounded this area where we could probably find the whatever it is we're exactly looking for. You're not exactly sure what you're supposed to be tracking here, but maybe something of note.
Why don't we just look in front of us, and do we see a city with just undead walking around?
You don't even have to roll for that. No, you do not immediately see a massive city of undead here.
Good to know.
Good to know
Okay,
indeed.
I mean, it would be really dumb if we're like, and we start digging, you know, next to this house, we start digging for the city.
Yeah. And you guys successfully evaded pretty much everything along the way. You guys did really well. I was like, okay. They're gonna come across this, and they were like, okay, okay, so good job. I know it seemed a little bit boring, but you did well.
It could have been worse, grinding into things every day, and
yeah, I mean, there was like a bunch of random encounters out here.
7 days of hell.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, what are you guys going to be doing? So you guys are kind of like, again, mountains all around you. You're not exactly sure where it is. Like, what is your strategy in terms of finding something that indicates maybe there could be like a city or something?
Well, time to get out with shovels.
Nothing like sticking up from the ground that looks unnatural. Like no unnatural, like no man-made looking like support pillars or anything from leftover structures that we see. Everything looks more or less natural.
Give me Timothy, give me a perception check, you know, as you guys are kind of like, okay, this might be, and you start kind of walking around and seeing something. Yeah, with a 10, like you kind of look around, just like nothing immediately stands out to you. Maybe like closer to the other mountains, because like you guys have been kind of like between two of them, it kind of like opens up. There's kind of like more mountains, like maybe like kind of have to go up or kind of like approach some of them. Like you're not exactly sure. It's not immediately apparent to you based on this perception check right now.
So I asked Osmanthus, you know, according to the map, is this the location that supposedly houses the city of undead?
Supposed to be, but there is a note that indicates that it might be buried, and so the area in front of us looks big enough for a city. Oz is going to look at the kind of mountains to see if there's, I don't know, any kind of like sheer cliffs where maybe something was carved out of the mountain, or maybe the city just plummeted and broke off pieces of the mountain with it when it fell down into, you know, a massive sinkhole like the ones I've seen on the internet that look terrifying.
Okay.
Slide.
Yeah. Okay. Give me like a maybe I don't know, nature. I guess let's go with that.
Seems kind of naturey.
Yeah, let's go with some nature.
Okay,
Oh.
that was clearly the 16 on my screen.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we go with what the chat says. Yeah, you're just not quite sure based on that. Yeah, so unfortunately, it's not becoming quite apparent to you whether that's the case or not.
Okay.
Any other ideas, thoughts?
Since Osmanthus said that we are in or close to the right location, I will touch my holy symbol and close my eyes and reach out with a divine sense and see if I can find anything close by.
How long does this last here? It says, oh, it's just for 60 feet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Asilo, give me a D100 roll, please.
D100.
I like that number. That's a good number.
24?
Yep.
Okay, so with the 24, you're you kind of like you don't get an immediate ping you're just like, oh, nothing seems to be here. So it seems like this area, within 60 feet, and remember this, I'll say the 60 feet goes spherical for this purposes, as well. So at the very least, where you are standing, 60 feet around you, you don't get the sense of any celestial fiend or undead.
Okie dokie.
But that's good. I mean, that eliminates that particular area. Like, I don't want to diminish what you're. That's a really good attempt. So like, okay. So, anything? What else are you guys doing?
Guess any cave? Like, can we spot any caves? In the little circle of mountain range around us.
Yeah. Does anyone else kind of want to? Because you kind of restriction for that. Does anyone else? You kind of like maybe pitch it. Anyone else want to roll a perception to kind of see if they spot that?
Yeah, are there anything that might be presenting as trails or anything like that?
Okay. Yeah. Why don't you go ahead, Buffettes? Why don't you roll the perception here?
And I was gonna like kind of like clear the ground underneath us. Like, are we standing on like a giant slab of ice? Is it solid ground?
Okay, yeah. So you clear up a bit, and like there's a couple, maybe like a foot and a half this particular spot of snow. Clear that up, and it seems like it'd be like a layer of ice. But then you kind of look in, like maybe there's some snow. It seems like it's like snow below, or no, sorry, ground below that.
Okay.
Perception 9. Yeah, it's not really becoming apparent to you.
I've just been so tired from surviving the last 7 days.
We got all of our good rolls
Yeah.
out of our system on the way here.
Yeah.
Oops. Not the intent. All right. What about you, Zoran? What do you think? Do you have any ideas of what you could do, or?
No. Only because I feel like everyone else is doing stuff, so I'm just gonna wait around, see what they want me to do. I have a shovel ready. Just kidding.
You guys can keep walking if you want. Like, if you want to walk towards a particular thing. So just to kind of give you an idea, there's like your next opening. You guys were coming in from, like, you guys were traveling east between these two like mountainsides. You kind of like get to this open area. There's a couple the mountains like kind of like wrap around. There's some like towards the south of you. There's some towards the west, and then there's a little bit rounding like more sort of like the northwest. And then there seems like to be like a little opening that there's no mountains. It seems like that goes back into like the hilly area, the open vastness just north of you. So it seems like you kind of have like a almost like a completed like circle around you where there's like no there's mountains, and there's just like one wide opening just like directly north of you. You guys can start climbing, maybe get like an elevation change to see if you spot anything. Maybe
Get the climber's kit.
You guys start just randomly digging if you want to do that.
Should we try and get higher and see if we can see anything? I'll try and climb.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm just throwing you guys ideas out there. I don't want you guys to be like.
But before
it's
we
all
start,
hope is lost.
but before we start climbing, I'll take like one more like good hard look around at our surroundings, see if I can see any like crevices, cracks, ravines, anything that would indicate like there's a way to go, because this is supposedly underground, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So yeah, give me a perception. I think Jimmy had this idea as well, but he kind of looked. He kind of looked. So yeah, why don't you try looking for it as well?
I don't see shit.
Yeah, it's a bit tough. It's not, just like maybe from like the your perspective right here, like maybe you have to move around a bit more. But you don't immediately see anything that could indicate that.
Okay.
So, Buffettes, you want to do climb? Sorry.
Climb. I think I'll
Climb.
Climb up, see if anything looks different from a little higher.
So you have just kind of the mountains like where you just came from. You have kind of like it kind of wraps around towards the south. and there's some like a bit out to the east, and then there's nothing above you. So, is there a particular place you want to start out at, or you just kind of want to like the closest place to start out and seem like, oh, this seems climbable? Any?
Yeah, just kind of closest place. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So give me a climb check, which I believe would be a dexterity here, or athletics here. Yeah, let's give me an athletics check here.
I will go and aid in his efforts.
Okay. And you have a climber's kit. What does a climber's kit give you? Does it give you like?
Did you say you're helping me?
Yeah.
That advantage then?
I don't think it technically gives you anything. I think it just gives you tools which could reasonably help a person climb shit.
Okay, I was just checking if it actually like mechanically gave you anything in particular here. Okay. So you get a little quick boost. Takes a little bit. Okay. So, Bophides, this turns out to be a bit harder than you thought. You do have the equipment, but you're just like, oh shit, like, I personally haven't done like too much, or really any rock climbing at all, but like, it's kind of hard to actually like, get shit in there to actually be able to get yourself climbing. I forgot what like the little like not the pitons, but like whatever the things that embed it into the rock.
Yeah, they're pitons. But a climber's kit includes special pitons, boot tips, gloves, and a harness. You can use the climber's kit as an action to anchor yourself. When you do, you can't fall more than 25 feet from the point of where you anchored yourself, and you can't climb more than 25 feet away from that point without undoing the anchor.
Okay. So, all right,
What you can do from 25 feet away.
Intense.
Interesting. Bophides, how high do you want to go up? That's my question.
Well, it sounds like I was going to climb 25 feet.
Okay.
And then maybe chisel in and try and go another 25 feet.
Okay, so it takes you a bit of time. Like it's kind of like rough and going. It's maybe the first 25 takes you maybe like, I don't know. I really have no idea in terms of pace of this, like maybe like 20 minutes, I guess, to kind of get up there. I don't know if that seems reasonable. I have no clue. I feel like that feels fast, but
It's very slow, but he's got goat feet, so
yeah.
What are they, mountain goat feet?
nope.
They are today.
All right, they're gonna have to be. But you get to the 25 and you're just like, okay, all right. So you get there and you said you wanted to go another 25?
Correct. Yeah. So if the climber's kit says 25 feet, and then I can lock in, right? Put in one of the chisel things, and then try and go another 25.
I'd say go 26 feet and then anchor, and then climb another 25 feet.
Yep, no, that sounds more reasonable. The 25-foot fall would still be the ground at that point.
give me another athletic check here. No advantage because Phaedus isn't coming, or Tyler isn't helping you here. But maybe he is a mountain goat feet. Maybe he has some after all. So you get up another 25 or so. You get there and you're just like, okay, now I'm pretty high up. I mean, I kind of have a hard time really thinking about it, but 50 feet up is high. Like,
yeah.
It's like 2 or 3 houses.
Yeah. So it's quite the elevation change there, and so you're just like, and it's chilly. So I'm gonna need you to give me a Constitution saving throw as you're kind of bearing a little bit of this, but
of course,
you got it. You still got the clothing. Not to roll horribly. Okay. Well, Phaedus came to play. All right. So now you're up here. You have a little bit of advantage point. What are you wanting to do? You wanting to kind of keep going up? You want to kind of look out?
No, I think now that I'm this high up, I just want to see if anything stands out that we might have been missing.
Like a welcome to Undead City sign.
Yeah.
Right. Like all of a sudden, like the billboard, it's like another 200 feet. away from
Yeah.
us and we just weren't seeing it or something.
Give me a perception check. Pretty critical here, buddy. You gotta.
Perfect time for another 7.
Oh, love it.
Can I have bardic inspiration myself?
I think you can, don't right? I don't know actually what the.
I don't think you can after the fact.
Yeah, probably not after the fact. So sorry, bud, but let's get a note for the future, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you have any inspiration or anything if you want to spend? I'll let you spend that.
I don't.
Dang, okay. All right. Well, with a 9, well, describe to me what you're looking for. Like you said, give me one more time. What are you trying to find here?
Yeah, so what I'm looking for are, kind of like the things that we're looking for on the ground, right? Like any cave entrances, any indentations in the land that might look not natural, that may be entrances that were built to this undead city.
Okay. So it's not readily apparent to you. Maybe because this time maybe you've gone maybe a bit too high up to kind of see some of the details, or maybe you need to go higher. You're not exactly sure, but you're just like kind of look out, and maybe it's a little bit of the cold, but it's not coming to you. I'm still holding on to the roll here, but it's not coming. So what do you want to do? Do you want to keep going up? Do you want to kind of start getting back down? You're 50 feet in the air. That's
Yeah, let me keep going up.
okay. Give me another athletics check here.
Oz wants to walk around and just see if he feels any
And his name
draft.
is John C.
Oh, where was that for the perception?
Okay, Oz, you said you were walking around feeling any what? Sorry.
I want to he's just going to start walking around and he wants to see if he feels any kind of drafts coming up through the ground. Any drafts, cracks, he's just going to start moving.
Okay, give me an investigation check as you're doing this. I mean, this is taking some time as Bofades is doing this. So let's say you're doing this in conjunction here. So
All right.
roll that, and then I'll kind of get back to you here in a second. So Bofades, you get up, no problem. You're now like you really are. You got mountain goat feet. And you head over, you head up, and now you're 75 feet up. I mean, it is chilly up here. Okay, what are you doing? Another perception?
Yeah. I'll take another look around now that I've gotten a little bit higher up.
Okay. Let's see what you got here.
Oh, Jesus. That's the third 7 I've rolled on my perception test.
You've won something
Oh,
with
but-
the 3 7s.
I'm like, I'm giving you some bonuses here, but still, it's just not enough to send you over the edge here. But you get up there, you start looking it out, and you're just like, shit, I went too high. I can't see shit now on the ground or any details. You kind of like turn around and you realize like, oh, whoa, maybe a bit too high. You're like, maybe going higher is probably not the best idea at this point.
Okay.
But it was a good effort. You got some climbing in. You're probably going to be exhausted on your way back down. But we'll see how you handled that. Okay, so we'll kind of move over to Oz here for a second. Oz, you start walking around. You're just like, okay, this is, I don't know, I don't hear anything from Bofades. You start walking around, and it takes you a bit of time. Does anyone walk with Oz? You guys are you just gonna go by yourself?
I was gonna say I'll walk with Oz because since Bofades has moved out of my reach of influence to help him out, I'll walk out with Osmanthus.
Okay. So with a 23 investigation, you take the time, and after a bit of walking, a bit like towards like the southeast, like towards kind of like that men's side, you kind of like you kind of notice something like just almost like jutting a bit from the ground, a little bit farther ahead. You're not exactly sure what it is, but it seems like a rock of some kind that really has no place of being there.
In the middle of Rocky Mountains.
Yes, a different type of rock, like a different composition, based on like what the other kind of like the mountains, what they look like. But yeah,
They're
you
all
notice that.
gray, I assume. The mountains, are they all like gray and white with snow over them, and this rock is
Yeah.
like bright purple?
Actually, with the 23 and kind of the investigation, you recognize this to be a chunk of charlatan, the kind of the substance that you've seen before.
Oh. How big is this chunk? How
It's
chunky
actually
is it?
surprisingly relatively large. It's about maybe like a volleyball size. And if you guys remember, charlatan's like that really cold, like almost like really deep gray, like cold, like it's like a substance magical. It's used for a lot of infusion and stuff like this. So it's been kind of important here up in the north. But you do spot.
Well, I think I'll head over in that direction, and you know, who has the bag of holding, because we're gonna want this this material to take with us.
So
I have a bag of holding.
It's not funny.
From my perspective, Matt, you're pointing to like my browser with.
My perspective is the only one that matters.
Yeah, I'm like, to me,
I
like,
guess I should
What
be
does
pointing
Timothy
that
do?
way, a long way.
For
On
me, it's like-
Zoom, it's right here, but
yeah.
In the Twitch, Jimothy's pointing the correct way.
Yeah, bitches. Oh,
Well,
unfriendly people.
so if you like, I can point left and it would go towards Zoran. I don't know if you have your camera flipped or not, so.
On the Twitch, you're to the right of Oz. It's Jimothy, Zoran, Bofades, Oz, and then Asilo on the Twitch that I can
hey Zoran, I'm not gonna point. I'm gonna shout.
see.
You should come over here with the bag of holding.
Okay.
Asila, are you doing anything with this? Or...
Since we're at an obvious landmark or unknown thing, I will go ahead and cast another divine sense around us.
Okay. This time when you do it, it's like you're just like, whoa, shit. You get it like maybe like 35 feet away from you, just continuing going like but southeast. And it's deep. It's kind of like a little bit deeper, but you'll get a bunch of pings. You're like, I'm not even sure exactly if this is like one larger ping or like multiple different ones. And for the purpose, I guess this is not behind total cover. Whatever. I've been kind of like hand waving that. To kind of like giving you a little bit of the mileage on that spell, but that once we start approaching things, that will change. But for now, I'm kind of letting you use it. Okay.
I think glass counts as total cover.
Yeah.
So, like, they could be behind a pane of glass, and it's like nothing.
Yeah. So it's just like, I think it's for now, like, it makes sense to use it the way we're using it, but like, once you're whatever this is, like, once you're in there, like that mileage will change. Okay, so you get that ping, and sure enough, yeah. What are you doing, Asala? You kind of like sense it's like 35 feet away from you.
So, and I can sense that it's coming from kind of down below me.
Yeah, it seems like it's coming down below you. You don't see anything particular like sticking out like up 35 feet away, but
again, I will get my shovel out and kind of clear a spot underneath me. Like, are we over like a sheet of ice that we can see through, or is it again solid ground?
It seems to be still solid ground as well. Once you, I'm sorry, are you doing it where you stand, or are you kind of like walking towards the spot where you got that ping?
Kind of where I stand, and then I'll kind of start moving towards the ping. It's kind of shoveling a path as I go.
So you kind of start shoveling, and then chunk. You're like, oh, this feels different. And you kind of start moving it away. And then sure enough, you kind of like see like a large, like, it seems like almost like a cover of like a large rock covering like an opening of some kind. The rock is relatively large. It's about like maybe 10, 12 feet in like diameter. But it's covering this like large opening. And it was almost kind of like concaved in. So it seems like what it looks like, something like penetrated the ground, because like it kind of like slopes in a little bit. It's almost like a bullet like went into it, and then like somebody like put like this large rock over whatever it like penetrated through.
Okay.
But yeah, you spot that. So yeah, so I don't know. You Oz are there. The rest of you are kind of like maybe a couple hundred feet away from these two. What are you guys doing? And I know we're approaching time here, so we'll wrap up here in a second.
Yeah. Well, I announced to the group that I think I found the entrance.
On a rock.
Found a big rock. Can we put it in the bag of holding?
I suppose I'm gonna try and make my way down.
Yeah, Buffettes, I'm gonna need you to give me 3 successive athletics checks, and hope to God you were able to kind of make it down. They should be 2. Okay, that was really close. Not too bad. Keep going.
What the hell's going on? What the hell is going on?
Okay.
Well, you can't fall more than 25 feet, so.
That's true.
But you fall 25 feet. So you drop the first, you go down to 50, you get from 50 to 25, you fall and you get smacked. And you're gonna take a 2d6 worth of damage here. Based on kind of like the impact here.
Seems strange. Wouldn't you fall 50 feet?
We got like caught, I think, right? Like, well, I guess.
The thing says you can't fall more than 25, but if you put a thing in the wall and then you climbed up 25 feet, if you fell, you would fall 25 feet past your anchor, right? So you'd fall.
That's not the description of the item. You can't fall more than 25 feet.
No, Matt, what you're saying makes a lot of sense, and I think that's probably what it should be, but
logically, yes. Rules is written, no.
Yeah, but you do take, oh man, rocks on these things. You're gonna take 10 points of bludgeoning damage as you come down. You're like, boom, boom, boom. You're like hitting every rock along the way.
Okay.
Should have played a monk to negate all of that.
And you guys see this. You guys just see Buffettes just as he's just coming down. And then he's kind of like catches himself at the 25 mark, because apparently he's not done falling. He still has another opportunity to fall again.
Like you just see like Jim Brewer on Saturday Night Live on the Goat Man.
Right.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Okay. So Buffettes, you kind of like, oh shit, I need to be a little bit more careful. And man, you could have not rolled like this. These are really pushing it, like in terms of like failing here.
Yeah, I figured as much.
But yeah,
really threading the needle on.
DC was 10, just for behind the curtain here. And you're able to get down towards the bottom, and I wouldn't say relatively unharmed, because you did quite a bit of damage there. But you get to the bottom. You felt it.
I felt it.
Okay, so kind of for the sake of time here, we'll say that you guys kind of meet up, right? Like you guys approach this rock here. And what are you guys doing? Gonna push the rock? You guys gonna yank the rock? You guys gonna break the rock? You guys gonna be like, all right, that's cool, we found it. We're out of here, let's go.
I'm gonna try and shove the rock, move it.
Remember, it's like 12 feet in diameter. It's a pretty big freaking rock. I don't think one person's gonna do it. It seems like it's gonna be like a group effort. It's large, right? It's like it's almost looks like a boulder practically.
I can certainly help.
Okay. Is anyone participating in this? This will be kind of like maybe like a group strength, or how do you guys? Yeah. Any ideas of how you guys want to do this?
Maybe if it's 12 feet in diameter, I feel like we could all push.
Yeah, for sure. You guys can all get around it if you want. Okay. So
Okay, so we're all pushing.
if that's what you guys want to do, if anyone has any different
Oz?
ideas. Yep.
Oz is.
Why don't we just try pushing? If that doesn't work, it won't be a lot of time lost.
Right.
Fine, we'll push the boulder.
Okay. Everyone, give me an athletics there to push the rock.
Oh shit! Osmanthus was almost useful,
Really?
and then he decided to be Osmanthus.
I mean,
Okay, what
Oz
do we
was
got
gonna
here?
give a silo advantage, but nope. We just
11,
pushed.
15,
I should also remind Oz and Jimothy that they have inspiration from me.
Not for that roll.
Maybe
yeah.
maybe it's because we didn't do a countdown. Like you guys were all pushing, but we should have done like a 1, 2, 3 shove. You know?
Yeah.
Like 2 people started pushing after 2 people stopped pushing.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're idiots. We circled the boulder and we're pushing against each other.
Oh my god, we push rocks like the Broncos play football. Ah!
Oh. Oh, Broncos country. Let's ride. Okay. Boo. Okay. Yeah. So you guys, the rock does not move. It's hanging out there.
It doesn't even seem to budge at all, right? Just nothing. No. movement.
It's funny enough. Maybe from you, Jimothy, it gives a little budge. But because you seem to be the strongest somehow. But
Weird.
everyone else seems to be pushing against you. So you're just like you kind of like start pushing first, and you're like, oh hey, and then everyone else is just like, no.
Half the people are pulling.
Yeah.
We actually circled up wrong. Jimothy's on one side and we're on the other opposite side of him.
Yeah. Yeah, and this just to kind of be clear here, sorry, this rock is kind of covering, it's almost like the concave, this is almost kind of at an angle, so the rock kind of a little bit tilted. But you guys are pushing from the wrong side. It's almost like you're pushing a rock uphill.
I think we should dig a path on the other side that's going downhill and then push from the opposite side.
Okay. So you guys
Yeah.
want to do a little digging?
And so
Doran will
I
bring the
mean-
shovel out.
The people with shovels.
I got a shovel.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do that.
Shovel it up. Give me some survival, I guess. Survival. Give me some survival checks to shovel things out.
okay.
Get out of my way! I need a
So,
shovel.
Get out the way.
With
So-
the two of you, you guys are able to shovel it up.
So Zoran's shoveling out from in front of the rock, and I'm picking up what she shoveled and tossing it back.
Freaking jerk.
You guys are kind of efficient. Zoran's moving a little bit faster, and a bit more doing a pretty good job in terms of scooping. But after a bit, yeah, you're able to clear some path, and you're just okay, I think we could probably try another strength check here again. So if you guys want, give me another group athletics here to kind of...
I mean, are there any trees nearby? Could we maybe do a... Oh, okay, never mind.
Unfortunately, no. There are no trees. Sorry. Yeah,
Silo or Oz is getting stronger.
And his name
Fucking
is
holding
John
out
C.
for Oz.
There it is.
Goat legs!
After
Oh,
recovering from his tumble down the hill,
Yeah. Can't perceive shit, but my athletics are kicking ass tonight.
yeah, apparently crippled Buffettes here, after taking some beating here, he's just like, all right, let's do it. Comes in, and kind of makes up for the lack of strength here and then some. And you guys are like straining. I mean, this is when I was home, we had to pick up like this like big furniture piece that was like also had like a fireplace in it. It was awful. It was really terrible. And I just think about like how much like it like physically hurts you like when you push something that much or lift something that. So like you guys like feel like the pain, like, oh man, this is scraping against me. But you manage to push it over, and you get it. And as soon as that happens, it seems like you guys like open up like a wind tunnel as you feel this like huge flow of energy of wind kind of like suck you guys in, and you guys fall into the hole. And that's where we're going to stop there. And we'll pick it up there next week.
Does
With
the
the holes.
boulder fall up back on top?
Yes.
Like it just ate us. Like it just ate us, yeah.
It just like munched you up, and then the rock just kind of like crawls back up, covers itself.
Got another group of idiot adventurers.
But yeah, it's almost like it definitely felt like unnatural, just the amount of energy that sucked you, like pulled you guys into the hole.
I think the
but
mountain
yeah.
has like sleep apnea.
I wish we had a climbing gear so that we could get out of this hole.
Yeah, that'd be
I
nice.
do.
Yeah, if
But-
only.
But Buffettes left his outside, I guess.
So we'll see what happens to our heroes, or well, maybe not heroes, just the Southerners next time.
yup.
Wouldn't call ourselves heroes.
We've been
Just
downgraded.
happen to we just happen to be in the right place at the right time.
Okay.
Um,
I'm glad we made it
so
to this part. I was worried it was going to take a while.
So is anything else closed tomorrow in Kansas? I got an alert that KU campus is closed for their first day of spring classes.
Oh,
Wow.
Nice.
My kid's school is closed.
Okay.
Are we supposed to get more, like a lot more snow tonight? I didn't know we were gonna get much.
No, it's supposed to stop tonight,
It'll be
but
cold.
just be fucking stupid cold tomorrow. Hopefully they
Is
have
it-
the roads cleared up to Kansas City tomorrow, because I have to go to work again.
Is it also supposed to be windy too, or is it's just cold?
Let's see.
No idea.
I mean, you just work from home.
Terrible.
I do too. So does Oliver.
Well, I'm planning on working from home this week because Kathy tested positive for COVID on Friday.
Ugh.
And
Oh,
it's
no.
like, do you want me to potentially be a carrier? Like, I'm not showing any signs that I have it, but that doesn't mean I can't carry it.
Right.
But you don't have it yet.
Or
Yeah.
that he can't just give it to someone else. Yeah.
Well, you know, we normally never get sick at the same time, but you know, we are getting older. There's always a first.
Yeah, until Thursday, there's like a 6% chance of more precipitation. But Tuesday or tomorrow it's supposed to be 16. Wednesday it'll be 33. Thursday there's
Okay.
a 25% chance of rain, but it'll be 24, so that'll probably be snow. If it does
Gotcha.
anything, it's just gonna be cold and shitty for the rest of the week, and then next week it's supposed to warm up into the 40s.
I'll take 40s in
Ooh.
January. I'll take 40s in January all year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's doable.
But right now it's saying it's -7.
Yeah, my dogs can confirm.
Yeah.
No, poor guys.
Yeah, somewhere out there, Joe Dirt's trying to scrape a dog's nuts off a porch with a spatula.
See, Matt's in like a hoodie and a blanket, and Oliver's in a sleeveless shirt.
It's a different
Yeah.
world.
Because Oliver can handle the cold a lot better than I can.
I went golfing today.
Oh my god.
And I responded to that snap appropriately.
Yes, you did. Send him a
All
snap.
right,
You're
guys.
back with the middle finger.
Well,
Yeah,
are
like-
we playing next week?
Yeah. I have full plans of playing next week. I don't think anything's gonna come up, and I'm excited. This next part here will be. I know it's a little slow, kind of getting out here, but like, I think this next part will be a lot of fun or not fun. We'll see.
All right, yeah, I think I'm gonna respec into a cleric. This seems like the appropriate time to take that respec potion.
Yeah, let me multi-class into cleric real quick.
Yep.
I mean, we survived so many days of travel. I feel like we're a level 5 at this point.
We level up for travel.
Yes.
We'll see. You
For-
guys are
we
so
use our-
close. You guys are really close.
Avoiding conflict. Oh.
Technically, we avoided a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
that took
good then.
experience, and we learned from that.
Yeah.
Maybe next time. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll. Okay.
Well,
Bet if I had passed that perception check, we would have leveled up.
Oh, yeah.
That was it. That was the indicator right there.
well, looking forward to great new things in the new year.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited, guys. Thanks for sticking it out.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool. All
Well,
right,
I'll see
guys.
you guys next time. Have a good night.
Alrighty, everybody have a good night.
Yep. See you guys.